till now, we have seen the function of the heart. Okay? Now, as I told you that, we have to see about some of the valves that helps to prevent the backflow of the blood. Okay? In this case, children, what are the conditions in which the blood can backflow? Number one situation, when the blood enters into the right auricle through the superior and inferior vena cava. Okay? Then it might be possible that the blood that is moving in, I was drawing the blood with red, no? The blood that is already moving in, it may move out. Blood that is moving in, it may move out. To prevent this, there are some valves, and the valves are called as eustachian valve. Now I am writing the name. The valves that is found here, these valves are called as eustachian valve. Okay? Now, with the help of these valves, the blood will not backflow. Okay? Then, the blood will move in, and through the right auricle, it will move, it will go to the ventricle. As soon as it will come to the ventricle, these tricuspid valves are present here. So the second valve is tricuspid valve. And this valve will close. As soon as it will close, there will be no backflow. Okay. So second valve is also preventing the backflow of the blood. Then children, will move here. This valve will get open. That is semilunar valve. This valve will get open and the blood will move out. Now, as if this open, then this semilunar closes, and if this open, then this valve closes. It means from here also we can prevent the backflow of the blood with the help of the semilunar valve. The same situations will arise at this place also. With the help of eustachian, with the help of the tricuspid, with the help of the bicuspid and the semilunar valve 1 and 2, we can prevent the backflow of the blood. Along with this, children, there is one more canal, or there is one more valve, and that is called as the Thebasis valve. Okay, and see from where the Thebasis valve arises. Now, our heart is transferring or pouring each and every part of the blood to each and every part of the body. But our heart also wants the blood, na? It wants the nutrition so that it can work properly. For this, the muscular wall of the heart, that is myocardium. Okay, inner lining of the heart, myocardium. This myocardium contains some valves, and that is called as the coronary sinus. Okay, now see children, to the posterior side of, because I have drawn the simplest figure for you, but to the posterior side of this heart, there is coronary sinus in between the left auricle and left ventricle. Now, we have already studied about everything. So, I am going to erase this portion so that your figure should be clear. Okay, I am going to erase all these things. We do not want this now. Okay, we do not want this thing anymore. Now, suppose this is to the posterior side of the heart. To the posterior side, once again see what is there. Between the left auricle and left ventricle, there arises a group of veins together. Okay, group of veins. So I am drawing it as a group of veins. Clear? Now I can draw the picture like this. We can see the structure is something like this. It is complicated. It is not so simple that I have drawn and explained you. It is little bit complicated. Now this group of veins are called as the coronary sinus. Okay. So what is this now? This is coronary sinus. And the function of the coronary sinus is to bring the blood, deoxygenated blood, from the heart itself and then pass it for the purification. Understood? So what is the function? Its function is to bring the blood which can be passed through. Clear? For its purification. So this is called as the coronary sinus. Now there should not be backflow. Okay. Just to prevent that backflow, there is one more valve and that is called as thebasis. Spelling is T-H-E-B-A-S-I-U-S, valve. This is important valve. Understood? So all these valves prevent the backflow of the blood so that our heart can function properly. Clear? Now, we have seen that these auricles, they contract together and then this ventricle, they contract together. And because of this contraction and relaxation, our heart beat, and that is called as the heartbeat. Okay. So the next point is the heartbeat. Now see children, I am going to erase till here because all this we have already studied. Clear? Even these things are not required now. So I am going to erase. Tricuspid is okay. This is okay. And all these things are okay. Now we do not want this much. Clear? Now see children. What is the next point? Our heart. What the heart is doing? The auricles are contracting. Okay, the upper side. Once they will take the blood in, the auricles, they will contract. Clear? They will contract, then blood will be poured inside the ventricle. At the same time, the ventricle will contract. Okay. So, contraction together, contraction together. Clear? Now, what is this? Because of this contraction, they produce a rhythmic sound. And this rhythmic sound is called as the heartbeat. Now see children, the contraction and relaxation forms the two things. Contraction phase. What is the first? That is our heart contracts. Okay? And this contraction phase is called as the systole. If the heart will contract, if the auricle will contract, the blood will be poured inside the ventricle. And at the same time, the ventricle will contract. Okay? And the blood will move to the pulmonary artery from here and aorta from here. Now, this contraction is called as the systole. And both the portions, all the four chambers, they will relax all together. And that relaxation phase is called as diastole. And our heart, because of the contraction, relaxation, our heart will beat rhythmically. And that can be heard easily, and this is called as the heartbeat. So, what is the definition of the heartbeat? The definition of the heartbeat is rhythmic contraction and relaxation of heart. Understood? So, see what has happened till now. Heart contract. Heart contract means first auricle contracted, blood poured into the ventricle contracted, and blood moved into the aorta as well as the pulmonary artery. Now, for 0.4 seconds, our heart will relax. Okay. Then this relaxation phase is called as the diastole. And this contraction, relaxation, occurs throughout the life in a rhythmic period, and this is called as the heartbeat. Now, from this contraction and relaxation, we'll see that is our cardiac cycle. Okay, so now your next portion is cardiac cycle. See, I am going to write about cardiac cycle. Now, what is this cardiac cycle? Again, the rhythmic contraction and relaxation repeats itself. Now, how much time it takes, in how many seconds the cycle get completes, the rhythmic contraction and relaxation get complete, that is all together called as the cardiac cycle. So, see children, cardiac cycle takes 0.8 seconds to complete. Okay, within 1 second, our heart beats for more than 1 times, because 0.8 second is required for one complete contraction and relaxation. That's why the total heartbeat is 70 to 72 times per minute. Although in a minute there are 60 seconds. Okay, but 0.8 seconds are required for one complete cardiac cycle. Okay, now we can divide this cardiac cycle into the 3 phases. Phase number 1. Okay, now see what happens in phase number 1 is called as the atrial systole. Now, meaning of systole is clear to you. That is when the arteries get contracted. And atrial systole takes 0.1 to 0.15 seconds for auricle to contract. Understood? So this is your phase 1, and the phase 1 is called as the atrial systole. Within 0.1 to 0.15 second, our auricle contract. Both the sides of the auricle, left and right, they will contract. Okay. When they will contract, the blood will move to the ventricle. Now see what happens in the phase 2. Phase 2 is called as the ventricular systole. Now see what happens in case of ventricular systole, children. This ventricle will contract and this will take 0.3 seconds. Clear? So how much time this contraction has taken? 0.1 or 0.15. How much second is required for this contraction? It needs 0.3 seconds. It needs 0.3 seconds. Now, both systole has done. Now, the next is relaxation phase, and the relaxation phase is called as the diastole. Now, both auricle and ventricle, they will relax together. They will not do anything for about 0.4 seconds. Okay, I am erasing this valve, and this is called as phase number 3, that is joint diastole, and it will take the relaxation phase of all the 4 chambers. It's best to write all the 4 chambers, okay, for 0.4 second. Okay, now 0.4 second, 0.3 second, 0.1 second, altogether 0.8 second, and that's why cardiac cycle takes 0.8 second to complete, and this is the reason, children, then our heartbeat is 70 to 72 times in 1 minute, and the heartbeat can be easily visible, not visible, it can be easily heard by the veins, superficial veins also, and that is called as the pulse rate. Okay, so your heartbeat is same as. Next is pulse rate. Okay, now after this rhythmic contraction and relaxation, we can count the pulse rate also. Okay, so we can say that the heartbeat is same as the pulse rate. Okay. So, rhythmic contraction of heart is also felt in the arteries. Okay. In the form of pulsation or regular jerk, and this is called as the pulse. So, what is the rhythmic contraction, the relaxation that can be felt by the arteries? That is felt by our body in the form of jerk, and that is called as the pulse. And that's why, children, we see that the heartbeat is same as the pulse rate. Okay. Now, whenever doctor checks our heart, okay, when the doctor checks our heartbeat, then doctor heard one sound, and that is called as the heart sound. So, our next topic is heart sound. Now see, children, what is this heart sound? The heart sound is lub and dub. Okay. Now, with the help of the stethoscope, the doctors, they used to check our heartbeat, and they hear some sound, and that is called as the heart sound. Now, the heart sound is lub and dub. Now, see what happens in case of lub dub. The lub sound is produced when ventricle contract and atrioventricular valve get closed. Number one is lub sound. When the lub sound is produced, when ventricle contract. Okay, 1 point. When ventricle contract and atrioventricular valve get closed. What get closed? Tricuspid and bicuspid. Okay, that is atrioventricular valve get closed. When it closed, it produces one sound. That is called as the lub. Okay, when the blood starts moving here, at that time, this valve get closed. Clear? When the blood pours here, this valve get open and this semilunar valve get closed. That is called as the dub sound. Okay? So, what is this dub? It is produced by the closure of semilunar valve. Understood? So, what is dub? Dub is the closure of semilunar valve. What is lub? Lub is the closure of atrioventricular, that is tricuspid and bicuspid valve. So, this is all about the heart sound. Now, children, we have the blood pressure. Blood enters the heart with the help of the pressure. Okay, the pressure can be measured again in the systole and the diastole. Systole is near about 120 mmHg and diastole is about 80 mmHg. Okay, blood enters into the heart with a high pressure. Okay, that is systolic pressure 120 mmHg and diastolic pressure exerted during the relaxation of the ventricle, and it is about 80 mmHg in the normal person. Now, more than that, people will suffer from the high blood pressure, and less than that, people will suffer from the low blood pressure. Okay, then all it creates a hypertension and all this thing. Because of the hypertension, because of the high blood pressure, the blood rushes to the heart. Okay, now how this high blood pressure comes or happens, sometimes what happens, the arteries get thick also. Because of that only the blood has to take a lot of pressure to move. So all these are the major causes of the heart attack, we can say, children. Okay, so this is all about the blood pressure as well as the hypertension. Now we have completed this whole chapter, almost everything. Whatever will be left, that we will do in the next part. Okay, thank you, children.